Today we're going to be doing some testing and talking about the latest bitstream for the Osprey E300, which actually is for Kylacoin. I've been mining Kylacoin pretty much since the launch with my black miner FPGA, and for those that don't know, it has been mineable for a very long time. It came out over a year ago, and it just recently got popular because some of the GPU mining software decided to add support for it kind of out of nowhere, which was surprising. It did have a massive price appreciation recently, so that may have been the driving factor of that. But one of the developers of Bitstreams, K1, went ahead and created a Bitstream for Kylacoin, and Osprey has implemented it into their firmware. It is available in the latest firmware. Now, devices will auto-update with this firmware in a couple days. However, you can manually upload it right now. All that information is in their Discord. So I went ahead and applied it to two of my E300s. So what I have here is I have a FU35P variant, and then I also have a FU33P variant. We ran the firmware upgrade on both of these, and we configured the Kylacoin Bitstream. So to do that miner, you're just going to head on over, and instead of selecting Team Red Miner, you're going to select K1 Lab for the developer. Select Kylacoin from the dropdown for the algo, and then you're going to input your pool, your wallet, whatever you want your worker ID to be. Now, something very different with this specific miner is that you cannot have a different clock speed on each of your FPGA chips. So if you're on an E300 and you have 3 FPGAs in that, the clock setting applies to all of them. And previously with like Team Red Miner, some of the other bitstreams, you could tune it per card. This specific one, you can't. You can still do the voltage per card because that's dictated by the firmware. So you can still come to the main page and control the voltage that each card gets, but you can't do it for the actual core clock. So just keep that in mind. In addition, there is a 15% dev fee for this bitstream. So keep that in mind as well. Instead of the typical 10% that we normally have, you're now going to have 15%. And I've been mining to Viperful for about 12 hours now, so we're going to go ahead and take a look at those profits. Before we do that, I just do kind of want to show the miner logs because it does look significantly different than the typical Team Red miner logs. So when you come in here, you're going to see your hash rate. This is hash rate per board, not your cumulative hash rate. So essentially you're going to see a line in here for each board. So just keep that in mind. So here we can see on the VU35P we're getting around 5.6 gigahash per board. And if we hop on over to the VU33P, we're getting around 3.2 per board. So some really good numbers there. And if we take a look at the spec sheet provided by Osprey for the VU35P, now they did not provide some out-of-the-box tuning options yet for the VU33P, but in general, these clocks will pretty much apply the same, and for the most part, you'll be looking at around half the hash rate and half the wattage. So on the VU35P, I'm not running everything at full bore. I am running it a little bit under I'm probably running around the average in the middle of the chart. And the reason for that is the positioning where I have my miners in my garage has somewhat of restricted airflow, and I'm trying to keep the temps somewhat under control, and so I'm not maxing them out. So what that means is on a VU35P, I'm currently running the 650 millivolt one. So right here we're getting around 16.8 gigahash per second. And this is what we're running now, and it's only consuming 404 watts, which is very minimal. In comparison, Caspa running those same core clocks on this miner was using 480 watts. So you can see it's a lot less wattage. It's actually higher hash rate than Caspa, but they are different algos. And then on the VU33P, I am currently running 800 megahertz at 750 millivolt, and we're getting about half of this, right? So we're getting about 9.6 ish gigahash for all three cards, and our wattage is around 300 to 310 watts. So we're kind of right on par with the efficiency on that one as well. Again, if we had better cooling, or if it wasn't summertime in the south, I would be able to bump this up a lot higher. But right now, we are kind of running on those clocks. So let's hop on over to Viper, and let's give this a refresh. What you'll see is I am solo mining with both E300s here. We scroll down, we got two workers. We have our E335 and our E333. So this designates the 35 UP and this designates the 33P. And you will see our effective hash rate shuffle quite a bit. I've seen as high as 32 gigahash a sec. Right now we're sitting at around 21 gigahash a sec. Again, this might be kind of controlled by the dev fee running as well, especially being a 15% dev fee. However, what we are seeing is if we grab our 6-hour average here, again, I've only been running this for about 12 hours now, so bear that in mind. So I'm mainly looking at the 6-hour average right now. 16.85 gigahash a sec at the pool and 8.56 gigahash a sec at the pool. And if we take a look at the blocks, again, solo mining everything, our time to find is right around an hour, which is super good. And what's even better is our effort. So our average effort on blocks has been 58%, which is really good. And you can see all of these blocks that we've hit. Our first block, we actually hit super quick. And you can see that's 12 hours ago. We hit that at 5%. And then we had a couple in the higher 60s. We hit one at 4%. We did have one over at 175%. And we did have one at 213%. But our last two blocks have been right around 20 to 30%. And let's give this one last refresh, because it has been just slightly over 12 hours now. And you can see, if we take a look at the past 12 hours, we've earned 0.08 Kylacoin. And that is worth around $5.96. You can actually see our 12-hour average is only supposed to be 0.04. So we've gotten almost double what our estimated would be on a pool. And if we take a look at the 24-hour, the estimated $6.91, or just shy of 0.1 Kylacoin. And again, we'll be hitting 0.1 here super soon. We're still knocking out blocks like crazy. This is awesome to see. I'm sure a lot of people are still on Caspa because the KS3s really haven't dropped yet. They haven't arrived. Once those drop, I imagine people are still going to spread out across Kylacoin, across Radiant, across Ironfish. And so my goal was, I'm going to go ahead and throw the E300s on Kylacoin, get to one coin. The tokenomics are wildly different. There's only, I think, 21,000 total Kylacoin, which is why it's worth $75 a coin. I'm just going to mine one coin and hold it and just pretty much keep it. But let's go ahead and hop over to hashrate.no and let's take a look at what the profitability would look like. So what we're getting on Kylacoin is 26.4 gigahash at 710 watts. Again, this is cumulative across both E300s. And then on Caspa, we're getting 24.46 gigahash at 855 watts. So that kind of gives you a distinction between the watts. Now, my power cost is 5 cents per kilowatt hour. So my power draw is going to be my power cost rather, is going to be a little bit lower than most. It's costing me around $1.03 a day on Caspa, or 85 cents on Kylacoin. So if we take a look at the revenue, what we're looking at right now is around $9.47 with Caspa and $8.26 with Kylacoin. Again, it's estimating that I'm getting 0.1 a day, but based on my luck being sub 50%, or I think it's right around 50%, 60%. Yep. I'm going to be getting substantially more than that. So I'm definitely going to be profiting today. I stopped solo mining Caspa because I've dropped to less than a block a day across both miners. So soloing this, it'd be interesting to see how quickly it takes us to get to that one full Kylacoin. It'd be real nice to get there within like 7 days instead of 10 days, but let's see how long it takes us to get there. But you can kind of see with Caspa, yeah, we would be making 844 a day versus 741 a day. But right now I'm trying to stack that Kylacoin before everybody kind of jump ship from Caspa over to Kylacoin. And then obviously I will most likely switch back to Caspa once I have that one coin, because I am still trying to accumulate some more Caspa. But those are kind of the numbers that you can expect right now, the difference between Caspa and Kylacoin. Now, the Kylacoin hash rate hasn't gone up too much since the Bitstream dropped. If we head on over to mining pool stats, you can see this drop last night around midnight. That's Wednesday. Here's Thursday. So we were at 1.33 terahash. We're now at 1.44 terahash. So not that big of an increase, really. We've had a few things come online, but for the most part, a lot of people are staying on Caspa right now until it really that profit really tanks. But once that starts to happen, I expect Kylacoin to get flooded, and then Ironfish will probably also get flooded as well.